Now, welcome back to the show, everybody. At this time, we would like to introduce the only member of our team with information regarding the whereabouts of Jimmy Hoffa. Now, Pat, is there any chance we can get the inside scoop?
Well, Derek, I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter, but we got some basketball to talk about. With the NIT tournament and LSU's first-round matchup against San Francisco quickly approaching, the Tigers will look to their most heavily recruited freshman, Jarell Martin, to augment their offensive firepower. The Tigers' athletic swingman has underperformed to his lofty expectations at times, but has made great strides in developing his game to the collegiate level throughout this year. Defensively, Martin has hung around with some of the SEC's best small forwards this season, proving to be one of the Tigers' elite defenders. His length and quickness make him incredibly effective on the perimeter and allows him to force turnovers that lead to easy transition buckets. Though he has made great strides, Martin's offensive prowess is still his most valuable attribute. Averaging 10.2 points per game, Martin is the third leading scorer on this youthful LSU squad. After announcing he will return for his sophomore season, Martin has instilled hope for the future in Tiger fans everywhere. The Tigers and Martin's success on the hardwood hinges upon the energy they bring to the floor, which is something that must remain high if LSU expects to make it out of the first round of the NIT.
We really weren't supposed to be practicing that hard, but our mindset, we went in, we changed our mindset now we practicing harder, we're going after each other, making each other better, so we can show it in the games.
Great segment, Pat. Now, looking at the LSU basketball team as a whole, and not just Jarell Martin, what kind of adjustments do you think need to be made going from the SEC tournament loss to a tough Kentucky team, against tonight's San Francisco Dons?
Well, I think it all hinges upon the offense. Open looks from beyond the arc for Andre Stringer and Anthony Hickey. They're their two best shooters. And, of course, you've got to box out on the offensive glass. LSU has a tremendous rebounding advantage against the Dons, who, as we said earlier, were 138th out of 160 NCAA teams. You know, Hickey needs to penetrate the lane and kick it out to the big guys who can hopefully make some big buckets inside for them tonight.
Yep, I would agree. That inside game, I think, is going to be the big part. When we were looking at the rosters, one guy at 6'11", and his minutes weren't even high. So that means really small lineup. So hopefully we can get the advantage there. Now, Bat, it'd be nice to see the Tigers keep it going and get the victory tonight for the seniors so they don't have to take that jersey off just yet. But what do the Tigers need out of those big guys tonight to advance to the second round?
Well, we're going to have to see the same thing we always do. But Mickey and J.O.B. are going to need to be an early force and take out the advantages of the size mismatches they have and crash the glass hard. On defense, Tigers are going to need Mickey to establish himself on the low block and contest all the inside shots and can't give him anything else. But the Tigers have had issues with these second chance buckets, especially in big games against Kentucky, and they're going to need to cash in on those as much as possible with this game, which I believe is going to come down to the wire.
Yep, I agree. And the one thing about the NIT, people don't think that they pay attention to it. It's not a big deal to these teams. I mean, obviously, you always want to win. It's always about winning.
Absolutely. But, they're always looked at as the 65th through 128th best teams in the country because of the NIT, and they're after the 64 guys that are in the actual tournament. But, they still get a lot of TV coverage. It's a pretty interesting game, especially when we saw Kentucky losing the first round last year. That NIT tournament was pretty interesting.
If anything, I think they should just have a chip on their shoulder, go from there. Play your hardest. Go into San Francisco, get that one on the West Coast. You don't play there often. It'd be nice to be able to have that feather in your hat right there. But, well, Pat, thanks for the inside look at Jarell Martin. Coming up after the break, Bat and I show you guys the best plays from last week at LSU Sports St. Patty's Day style.
Don't touch that dial, guys. I'm serious. It's going to be great.